called Along the Hoback, and it's of a fur trapper, mountain man, a frontier character from about the 1830s. I did this piece kind of coming full circle when I was younger. I did a lot of early Indian and fur trapper type pieces way back in the late 80s, in my earliest part of my career. And so this is kind of coming full circle, but I feel like now I have more time to do real, true primary source research. Probably the part that gave me the most fits, well, I sculpted the horse 3 times. So there's 3 different versions. That's the thing, you never really see a lot of the labor that goes into a piece. Hopefully, you can take something very hard and make it look easy. And I did 3 different horses. Sometimes he was more animated, legs up, trying to, had him pulling him back. So that gave me some fits. The mule actually just came right to me. But then the snag and the rock, of course, all that work in that real organic, where you're really trying to take something organic and make a nice design, not make it look contrived, but yet there's no real science. You can't go out and say, well, this is exactly the rock I'm going to do. That's exactly the snag. You're taking, something like this, you're really taking lots and lots of information and constructing the piece. And that's what the real challenge is. It'd be fun if you could hire a model, the horse, the mule, find the setting, set it all up and just sculpt it right from life. But that's just impossible with a piece like this. I move on, and once I've got the concept or the basic foundation as far as the historical knowledge, I wanted to place him in a real rugged environment because I wanted to do a wall piece. And so I thought about the Hoback Canyon, which was a major obstacle and a route that was used during this era, probably in the late 1830s. And so it's called Along the Hoback, and from there, basically, you start moving into, okay, how do I make that into that idea, that concept, into a piece of art? And so I start working out the placement of each of the elements, and basically we have the man and the horse, the mule, and then the snag tree, and then of course the base that they're on. And so I start working out all those proportions, all the locations, and I'm also thinking about how to lead the eye through the piece, repeat shapes, repeat lines, thinking about the play of light, creating interesting patterns of light and shadow. Every single thing is thought out. With the wall pieces, especially hard where you're laying animals on top of animals or rocks and trees, trying to make sure that things are readable. And so I'm always thinking about the play of light as far as what angle that clay is to the light. You think like a John Singer Sargent painting where he'll create the illusion of silk in a dress compared to the human skin. That's with paint. Maybe the hardness of the chair, those are a lot of portraits. Anyway, I think the same way, only with clay, and that illusion of trying to get that clay to say, the difference between, say, the horse, the deep hair, the mane, the muscle, the bone of the shoulder, his leather hunting coat, the fringe, coming up with a different calligraphy for all these items, always asking why, not how. And so in that way, your style just naturally evolves. I often think of it like my signature. I don't think of how am I going to make the curve and the S. It's just that I need to make an S, and this is how I do it. And so an artist's style just has a natural evolution and a natural way of happening. You don't really think about it. It comes naturally. To me, there's just that. It takes you to that time when, for me, wildlife is first and foremost, but I would love to have seen the wildlife at that time. To imagine those guys would, just see thousands of buffalo at a time, and elk and deer and antelope and sheep and grizzly bears everywhere. And, places where we now drive along the highway and it's all domesticated essentially. So I see myself doing a few more human figure type pieces in the future. Although wildlife will always be my first and foremost love. So.